Shibu. Yo, what's up guys? So in today's video, I'll be reviewing the IST Alpha N lever. So before we start the review, I just want to say a couple of things first. So you can skip ahead if you want, but first of all, I just want to say that I'm not a Korean lever expert. This video is basically like a perspective from a Japanese lever user transitioning to a Korean lever for the first time. So it's not going to be a detailed like review. And the second thing I want to talk about is the wiring that I've used. So if you're wondering, what's this lever right here? This is actually the lever that came from the combat drone. So this is the combat drone lever, and the thing is, if you want a Korean lever, then you would need to get a 0.187 to 5-pin conversion harness, and it's like this. And you basically connect those wires to the pins of the lever. So I didn't have that, but I remember that the Quambadrone lever was connected similarly to that. So it basically was the same. It was connected to the pins right here, and it's basically kind of like the Korean lever. So I just used whatever wiring came from the Quambadrone lever, and just use that to connect the Korean lever, and it actually worked, as you can see. So if you have a Quambadrone lever, lying around, you can actually use the wiring it had and use it on a Korean lever. The only difference is you don't really need a 5-pin. My 5-pin is right here, and usually you would connect the harness to this and then connect it right here. But the receiving end is already on the wiring, so you just have to like connect it right here. So yeah, and here is the IST Battop that it came with. It had some issues, which I'll talk about later. Okay guys, so one more thing I forgot to mention is that on YouTube, there's actually no reviews about the IST Alpha N or the IST Alpha 49S. So if I search IST Alpha and review, I don't think you can find any reviews about this specific lever, except for the knee lever and the 47C. And you could argue that they're the same lever, they have the same specs. Well, 47C is like the most different, but I guess same body. But they're all, from what I've heard, they're all pretty similar. But even then, like, I think people should review the Alpha N and the 49S despite them having the same specs, because they're still different products. Alright guys, so let's talk about the jump from Sanwa JLF to Korean lever. Basically, like, first impressions, like what you'll notice and feeling and difference compared to the JLF. And so let's start with the most obvious part, is that there's no gate. So basically, like, usually with a JLF, you'll feel the corners and stuff. With the Korean lever, with the Alpha N, there's no gate, and it just feels like a circle basically. And honestly, it doesn't really feel that bad. And if you're used to the JLF, I don't think you'll have a problem finding the directions. So this is left, right, up, down, diagonals. If you're experienced with a J lever, I don't think you'll have a problem with finding the directions. Except for the diagonals, they're gonna be they're a bit harder to find, because obviously there's no gate, and also because it has a longer throw. So basically there's more room, like compared to the JLF, you have more room to move the stick, which I kind of like actually. You don't need to be as precise compared to the JLF, so you can just go kind of hand, like, I'm just fucking moving my hand like this, and I'm kind of doing like a shitty Korean backdash. But this is how I do it. But yeah, What else? Supposedly, a lot of people say like Korean levers are stiffer or have more tension than Japanese levers. And honestly, I think this is the stock grommet. It is 35A, I believe. So it doesn't really feel that stiff at all. Like I was scared it's gonna be like super stiff, but it actually feels kind of light. I think part of the reason why it feels so light is because of the switches. They're actually very linear and soft on the Alpha N, which I kind of don't like. I kind of prefer my switches, like I want to feel my switches so that I know that when I'm actuating them. But I got used to it in a few days. So yeah, in the first day I was kind of struggling to find I was struggling to notice when I was actuating the switch. But as I played more, I got used to it. So yeah, just something to keep in mind about this lever. It has really linear switches, like you just don't feel it at all. Alright guys, so let's talk about my personal experience with the Alpha N. And so you might have noticed my name, it says JLF is greater than the Alpha N. I don't actually mean that. I think it's just for me personally, I still prefer the JLF over the Alpha N. And I'll get over to that. I'll get over to why I prefer the JLF in a bit. But so my first day and using this lever, I struggled to find the diagonals since there's no gate and there's a longer throw. You really have to like lock in to like find your diagonals, like especially when, for example, when I'm doing electrics, I have to like really lock it in, like you know what I'm saying, like. And I'm kind of exaggerating, but that's just how it felt for the first day when I'm trying to do electrics. I have to like lock it in. Whereas compared to the JLF, let me switch over real quick. I don't know if you can see it. Okay, you can see it just fine. Okay. I don't have to lock in to find my diagonals. Like I can just slide over. Yeah, it's just easier to find the diagonals on the JLF. I don't have to like lock it in. I just have to slide. So yeah, so that's the first thing that I've struggled with. And eventually I got used to it, so I don't really have a problem with it anymore. So the second thing I've experienced with this lever is that the Battop keeps unscrewing while I'm playing. And I'll show you a quick example of it real quick. So that was kind of exaggerated, but that's basically what's been happening when I was playing on the first few days. So I had to switch to the Battop. This is the one that keeps losing it up. I don't know why. Right now it's fine, but I'm really afraid it'll unscrew itself for some reason. I don't know if it's because of how the way I play, or I don't know. It just keeps unscrewing by itself. But I switched to this red, or not red. I think it's a pink. I believe it's a Corey Battop. I think it's a Corey Battop. This is the IST Battop, and this is a Corey or Kadit. If I'm not sure. And I think it has the same problem, but it didn't happen as often. So I might switch the Battop to this again. But what I noticed about this Battop is that it sits higher compared to the IST. This IST Battop is actually, when I screwed it in, it's a bit lower. But when I screw in this Corey Battop, it's actually it sits higher. I think it's because of the the way the threading works here. I'm not sure why, but just a minor detail. Is nothing. It doesn't really affect my gameplay that much. I do prefer the lower height on this one, but this one just keeps unscrewing, and I don't really want to play with this one. This specific Battop. It might just be my own copy of the Battop. Maybe it's just a quality issue. Another thing that I really like about this lever is that my player 1 is way better, especially when it comes to wave dashing. Like the thing is, I don't practice my player 1 at all. Even especially my wave dash. My wave dash on player 1 is really bad, but when I switched to this lever, even on my first day, I was able to wave dash pretty decently. Like, oh, what? I'm so bad right now. But yeah, I was able to wave dash pretty consistently. Whereas on the JLF, even though, like, obviously it's because I don't really practice my player 1, but I cannot wave dash in player 1 with the JLF. Okay, maybe I kind of can, but okay, maybe I can, but not as consistently, and I'm not as confident to compared to the Alpha N. With the Alpha N, oh shit. With the Alpha N, I don't have to be. I don't have to be precise to do a wave dash in player 1. I can just go ham. Like, it's just that easier on a Korean lever. Yeah, just that easier on a Korean lever. The fuck? Who's calling me? But yeah. And here's a clip of me doing a perfect electric on player 1. Okay, so with that clip, I'm not trying to flex or anything. It's just that I think it's a great example to showcase how much easier it is on a Korean lever. How much easier execution is on a Korean lever compared to a JLF. Because I've only been playing on this lever for like at the very least 5 days, compared to like a JLF I've been playing for 10 months, and I could never do a perfect electric on player 1, let alone wave dash. And I've only been playing this on this Korean lever, the Alpha N, for 5 days, and I'm able to wave dash, and I'm able to do a perfect electric on player 1, which is something I could never do. So yeah, I just think it's a great showcase of how much easier it is on a Korean lever. Like, it's not a joke, it's just that much easier, especially when you get used to it. Everything is just so much easier on a Korean lever. So execution in general, way easier, and also the same goes for blocking. So when I block or duck, I can confirm when I'm ducking, because I have to actually like lock in when I'm doing when I'm blocking low. I have to like best way I can describe it is like whereas compared to the JLF, sometimes I'll be ducking for no reason because I don't even notice. Like, sometimes I'll be like, I don't even notice that I'm actually like ducking. I'll be like, sometimes I'll accidentally duck and I'll get hit by a mid, So I'm just really like, when I'm blocking, it's just easier. Like, everything is easier in a Korean lever, basically. So let's head over to the pros and cons. So with the Alpha N, the pros are, for me at least, you don't need to be as precise. Less precision is needed, and execution is way easier in general. And for the cons, it's a bit more tiring because there's more tension and more, you need to actually use your entire hand, and harder to find diagonals. But that's it just comes down to getting used to it, especially if you're coming from a JLF. And soft switches. So in this particular lever, the switches are really soft. Like, you don't feel them at all. Again, you can just get used to it, but if you don't like soft switches, then you either have to switch them out with different switches, or look at different Korean levers. Okay, for the Sanwa JLF, the pros are it has a gate, so it's easier to find diagonals, and is less tension. So for me, that's a pro. Like I like looser. I like my levers to be loose and easy. And you can actually, on the JLF, you can actually feel the switches and when they actuate. And for the cons, you need to be more precise with the JLF. And for me personally, I think consistency is I'm just not consistent with the JLF. At least not as I'm not as consistent with the JLF when compared to the J lever. I mean Korean lever, because the Korean lever is just so much easier and you don't need to be as precise. But yeah.
Get ready for the next battle.
Okay, so I'll do one quick match with the Korean lever, and I'll switch over to the JLF after this. Come on. Alright, come back. No cap. Oh, I got bodied, dude. Wait, my Battop, you see what I mean? Let me switch over. Alright, we're good. Easy. You didn't want to kill me? I'll kill you first then. What? Oh shit, I'm out.
Ready for the next battle.
Alright, switch over to the JLF. Let's see. Oh. Oh shit! My PC, oh my god, I'm sorry. Nice. What the hell do I do? I guess I low her? Light block. Whoa! Oh god, I'm dead. Oh, what am I doing? Oh my goodness. Alright, well. GG's. Alright guys, so in conclusion, the Alpha N, it's a great lever. It's a great lever. It's execution wise, it's way easier than the JLF. I think the lever feels really nice. Apart from the soft switches, still not a big fan of it, but I got used to it. And despite all of the advantages that the Alpha N has over the JLF, I still feel personally, I still prefer the JLF over the Alpha N. I think it's because mainly it's because the JLF is way easier on my fingers, and I'm way faster on it. And also, I guess it's just not that deep. I think I'm just more used to the JLF. But I think I'm not saying that the Alpha N is inferior to it. I think the Alpha N is a great lever, because like obviously I've only been playing it for 5 days compared to the JLF where I've been playing it for 10 months. And I think in the 5 days that I've been playing the Korean lever, I think how I performed on it was how do I say this? It exceeded my expectations, because I was able to do perfect electric in player 1, wave dash in player 1. Everything was just so much easier. But at the end of the day, I think I still prefer my JLF. And yeah, I think maybe in the future as I play more with the Alpha N, I'll get more used to it. Maybe I'll main it, but as of right now, I think JLF is still my main. And yeah, that's basically about it.